Welcome to your daily dose of mindful moments and this new Feminine Awakening series, where we're celebrating women and all your ebbs and flows. It's time now to reawaken the feminine energy. Let's begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's mindful moment. Right now, we are in our Feminine Awakening series, and so today's episode is really about healing the feminine. And we're going to talk about this aspect of being in and out of alignment. So if you have felt out of alignment, then I'm going to be sharing some tips with you to be able to get back on track and in alignment with your feminine energy, but also how to still use and embrace the masculine energy that's also within us. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So today's topic is really this idea of being out of alignment. So what does being out of alignment feel or look like? Well, when we are out of alignment, this means that life kind of seems boring. There's no excitement, there's no joy, and there's no bliss. And it could be because we're maybe in a job or career that's not satisfying or actually utilizing our innate genius, our special gifts and talents that we all have that's unique to us. And yes, we all share similar unique gifts and talents, but we all do it in our own unique way, right? So there's so many YouTube videos talking about feminine energy, talking about Kundalini yoga, meditation, breath work, all the things that I bring to this channel, but no one does it my way, and no one will ever do it my way, and I can never do it in their way. So that's just a quick example using myself and using this channel as an example, right? So we all have these unique gifts and talents, and we all come to this world with a passion and a purpose to live out. And so if we are not actually fulfilling our mission and doing what we're here to do, which is fulfill that purpose and do it with so much passion, then that's us being out of alignment. Most of us maybe are going to a job or have a career because we need the money, or we were driven by money, and it's really not fulfilling the other parts of us. It's not fulfilling our heart. It's not fulfilling our soul, right? But it's fulfilling our bank account. And so that is actually being out of alignment, because our life is so much more than just how much money is in our account. Yes, money is amazing. Yes, we all deserve money and we deserve an abundance of it. But on the other side of that, we deserve to be happy with or without money, with that idea of that mindset, right? That if I didn't have any money, that I could still be happy, that I could still be joyful, and that I could still bring all of myself into this world without looking just to receive, that I could still give, even if I didn't have, money in the bank, right? So that's being in alignment, being fully just in our truth, in our authenticity, living with passion, living with purpose, and living in this idea of being able to both give and receive equally. And that doesn't mean every single day it's equal, but in essence and in general, it's equal. Maybe today is just a full-on giving day, but then tomorrow's a full-on receiving day. And then the next day, it's a little give half the day and a little receive the other half, right? It's about finding that alignment. And the other part of finding alignment is being able to balance the two energies that are within us. So this awakening series talks about the feminine, but it doesn't mean that we're ignoring or suppressing our masculine. It just means that if you are coming to this feminine awakening series, you're being called to really shine light on your feminine, because you haven't been doing that for so long. We've been in masculine for so long. So how can we bring ourselves back to alignment and back to our feminine energy and our feminine flow, while also being aware and still being in that masculine flow? So I'm going to give you some tips that I recommend you doing right now. So most of these videos that I share with you, we dive into some kind of movement, or I have you close your eyes for breath work or meditation, or I have you take out your journal and start journaling. But these tips are going to be a little bit different, but I still encourage you to go ahead and start working through these and start implementing them as soon as possible. So tips to bring us back to alignment and really tapping into our feminine so we can heal that part of us are going to be 3 different things. So the first one is to play. Just like we were when we were kids, how can you take time out of your day, out of your week to play? Now, this can look different in so many different ways, but a lot of the ways is actually go back and think about the ways that you used to play when you were a kid. Were you someone who loved to go outside and go to the park or run around and play a sport? Then this could be something that you could ask yourself, does this light you up when you start thinking about it? Like, yeah, I want to go to the park and throw the ball around, or I want to go to the park and go on the swings. I still love going to the park and going on the swings. I like to usually go with my husband or go with friends who have kids, because I know I get it as adults, that might not be just going up to this playground, but why not go to the playground when maybe there's no one there and you can have it to yourself or mostly to yourself and go on the swings and play? There's a really cool place here in Vegas called Container Park that during the day, it's all about the actual kids. They go and they get to play, and there's like all these different like levels of slides and fun games inside. But at night, the kids actually are not allowed to be in this park, and the adults are there. And of course, there's alcoholic drinks and bars. And the coolest part is that we get to go on the slides. And so it gives us this opportunity to go and play. So think about this for yourself. Actually, today I want to share with you guys, for me, part of my play was using the Me Time journal, and I colored. And this was an opportunity for me to just slow down and be with the colors that I chose. And you can also see there's writing here. So I started to just write and affirm things for myself to remind myself of things like, I know I'm worthy. I know I have abundance. I know that my life is filled with abundance. I know that I'm passionate about my work. So just reaffirming these things and telling myself beautiful things that I know to be true. And it doesn't matter how many times I need to remind myself, right? Because we need to have that good inner dialogue with ourselves. So the coloring was a playful just task but just fun thing that I did. And this was something I loved to do as a kid. And I still do it now. And that's why I actually incorporated it into the Me Time Mindful Moments to Reflect, Release, and Reconnect journal and workbook. So that's just a quick example of play. And there's so many other different ways to play. So really ask yourself, what are the things that I enjoyed as a kid that I can start incorporating now? Maybe it's hobbies like drawing or painting or playing an instrument. And it's not about perfection. It's not about staying in the lines. It's not about getting the chords right. It's just about taking that time to just play and experiment. Because when we were kids, we didn't care, right? We didn't care about being inside of the lines. We didn't care if the tune on the instrument sounded right. We just wanted to like make the sound, right? And we just wanted to see the colors appear on the page. So going back to that same essence is going to help you get into alignment. The second tip is slowing down. Now, I've been talking about this throughout the series, and it's so important because it's part of our feminine energy, and it's part of the healing of this feminine energy, because a lot of us don't know how to slow down. We don't give us that opportunity to slow down because we feel like we need to always be going in order to achieve and be successful. And that's just not true. So we have to unlearn and unprogram that. That's why it's been so important for me to kind of like beat a dead horse a little bit on this idea of slowing down, because we don't do this enough. So in order to get in alignment, it's important for us to slow down. Why? You might be asking. Because when we slow down, we actually, we bring ourselves back to present moment. When we slow down, we actually are able to see things more clearly and recognize things that have maybe been there in front of us all this time. It's interesting, right? We want to meet the right people. We want to have the opportunities to do things. We want, all these things. We want, right? But we're going. And most of the time when we slow down, we realize everything we've been wanting has been around us the whole time. We just weren't slowing down enough and long enough to actually see it. So that's why slowing down is so important and helps us get back into alignment, because we actually start to get the clarity and we start to be aware of all the things that have been there all along, all the resources, the right people, the right opportunities. We just maybe weren't slowing down enough, or we were having expectations of it looking or appearing a certain way. And when we slow down, we realize like, oh, there it is. That's it. That's it, basically, right? So it's really important for us to slow down. So the final tip that I want to share with you is for you to ask yourself, where can you soften? So think about this. Where can you be a little bit softer in your life? And this could also be the idea of thinking about where can you let go of control and just be, right? A lot of us think we need to control everything in order for things to actually work out the way we want. And that's simply not true, because a lot of things are actually out of our control. So where can we soften? Where can we just be more in flow and let things happen the way they're meant to happen, and trust that everything's happening in a way that's going to work out? If I asked you, can you recall a moment where things didn't seem like they were going in the right direction, and you weren't sure what was going to happen, but everything just seemed to work out exactly the way it was meant to? And sometimes it usually ends up working out even better than we thought. So this idea of asking ourselves, where can we soften? Where can we let go of control? Where can we just allow ourselves to just be? And maybe we need to soften in areas where we allow others to just be, right? Because ultimately, it is not our job to control others. Others are going to do what they do, and they're going to make choices that they're going to make. And that's okay, because they need to make those choices in order to have the experiences that are meant for them, just like the choices we make for ourselves is what we're going to make, so that an outcome is going to come from that choice for us to have an experience to then move on and decipher, okay, what's the next step, right? And it's neither good or bad. So maybe softening, the way that we control our kids, or the way we control, or not control, but soften this idea of controlling our kids and trying so hard to redirect them in certain ways. And yes, I'm not a parent yet, but I understand the concept of being their guide and making sure that they're going on the right track. But at some point, we have to just soften a little bit and let them be independent and see, okay, I'm back here, but what are they going to do? And that's also trusting yourself as a parent, right? If you're a parent out there. And same with our partners. We have this, desire to control them. So just soften and let them be them. Let them decide what they're going to decide. Let them choose what they're going to choose, right? Like, it's really not up to us at the end of the day. So these are the 3 tips that I wanted to leave with you. And I encourage you to take a moment to really work with these tips as much as you can right now. So to recap, this idea of play, right? So where can you add some play? Is there an instrument that's tucked away somewhere that you can pull out and just put it in front of you again? And that doesn't mean you play it yet. That doesn't mean anything. Just put it somewhere where you can see it. And that way you'll be reminded of this idea, like, I want to play that instrument and I'm going to do it this week. And then maybe, add it to your calendar, make a quick reminder on your phone, whatever it is. So start implementing ways that you can incorporate play. Okay. The other idea is, where can you slow down? How can you slow down? So maybe it's not putting so many things on your to-do list in one day. Maybe it's just choosing to do one thing that day, and the rest of the day you get to chill and maybe go for a long walk, or go for a hike, or maybe take a drive, right? And slow down. And then again, where can you soften? Where can you let go of control a little bit? Where can you just even soften with yourself. What area in that light of your life needs just that little bit of more softening? Because that's feminine energy, being soft, right? Being flowy. And I know this takes time, and this is honestly work that I'm still doing every single day because I'm a very energetic person and I'm very, driven in the things that I want to accomplish. So there's always something to do every day, right? But I'm consciously aware that I need to find moments just to slow down, just to play, right? So today for me was coloring, and I really got into that. And yes, there is going to be so many things to do, and there's always going to be things to do. But by coloring and by affirming things, I felt all of a sudden more confident just in my day. I felt more confident to record this video. I felt confident in my voice because I took that time to play and write certain things down and play with the different colors I chose. And so that just gave me another sense of purpose and passion in what I'm doing instead of going, all right, I'm going from here to here. Now I got to set up the lights and I got to go record my video and do this. I was just after I colored and really affirmed some things, everything was just okay, now everything just felt like play. So it was this trickle effect. So just know that it does take time. I know that it's not easy, but just start small and really start working on these things every single day, every single week. And all of a sudden, you'll see yourself being more in tune with that feminine energy. And you'll also know when the masculine energy has its time to shine and play, right? Because that's how we get things done. Our masculine energy is there to help us get things done. And our feminine energy is there to help us remember to let's just be in flow. Let's just slow down and nurture ourselves and play, and then go back to masculine energy and get things done. So with that said, go off, go play today, whatever that is for you. And I'm so proud of you if you're keeping up with this series every single day. I just want to say thank you for showing up for you today and every single day. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for another mindful moment here in the Feminine Awakening series. Namaste. If you enjoyed today's practice and you're not yet part of the Mind Feel Motion community, subscribe today for more daily mindfulness.